You guys want to know how much a complete Hellcat swap costs? Let's find out in today's video. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. This is the backup channel for Boosted Motorsports. We're gonna do some different content over here. So if you guys aren't subscribed to both channels, make sure you guys do that now. And today's video, we're gonna be talking about this Dodge Charger Hellcat swap. So I have this swap. A lot of guys have been asking on our main channel how much this swap has cost, and we're gonna go over that in today's video. First things first, I wanna tell you guys what stuff is involved, what stuff we got, and all the stuff that we are going to be using for the swap into the Dodge Dakota. So I'm kind of going to give you guys a couple different prices and amounts, dollar amounts. I know a lot of guys want to know how much this 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi actually costs. And I want to go over a few things and kind of break down the price. And like I said, I will give you guys the exact number on what I paid for this Hellcat swap. So let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's just get right into it. Obviously, I have an entire Hellcat engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission. The whole wiring harness on the engine, this came out of a wrecked 2019 Dodge Charger. If you guys haven't been following along with our build, this is going to be going into Dodge Dakota. But besides the fact, it has everything, you guys. We got our PCM here, our complete wiring harness on the engine. All our accessories are on the front. I got the fan. Obviously you can see this got damaged, and it wasn't damaged from the crash because it wasn't punched this way. This was, I believe, from fire and rescue having to cut the hood. So they did some damage to this when they had to, I guess, open the hood of the vehicle. And we've got all of our reservoirs. And if you guys don't know, the Hellcat requires a supercharger cooler. So this little rad and pump runs through this cooler, and then it also runs through this one as well. So it's got a front mounted one and one that mounts over here in the front bumper. And those lines run over here to the supercharger. We've also got that bottle. So this is a separate cooling system just for the supercharger. And this is the bottle and tank for our main cooling. We also have an oil cooler over here. And the reason why I'm going over all this stuff with you guys is because this stuff is required for this engine. So a lot of guys will just see an engine for sale and it doesn't have all this stuff, but you guys have to come up with something in order to have this engine working in whatever you're thinking of putting it into. Other thing you're gonna see is we've got the manifolds there on both sides. We've got our O2 sensors. I even have the secondary O2 sensors. They're tied up right here on both sides. So I just wanna go over how complete this whole thing is. I do have the power steering pump. We just removed it because I do have to. This was kind of a little bit damaged, the reservoir was. And moving down towards the back of the engine, we have the 8-speed automatic transmission. If you guys don't know, this is one of the best transmissions to date as far as just lightning fast shifts. And I really wanted to utilize having those 8 gears so that we can put this power down to the ground. Plus, this is factory, you guys, 707 horsepower engine with a warranty along with the transmission. So it is built, engineered, and designed to handle this much power. Along with that, so you guys can see we have the whole drivetrain, right? Got all that stuff. We got all the lines, AC if I want to hook up that. And then we have the entire wiring harness and every module from the entire car, guys. So this is the stuff that I paid for, and the reason is some guys, and I just want to go over it really quickly because it could be a lengthy separate video. A lot of guys will say, why don't you just buy the Hellcat Mopar Performance PCM and be done with it? Well, if you guys don't know, the Hellcat PCM from Mopar only controls the engine. It won't control this 8-speed transmission. So there's some aftermarket solutions out there to run this 8-speed transmission, but they're pricey and they're not really tested just yet. They're kind of new to the market, so how effective they are is another complete question. So if you're gonna run the 8-speed automatic on Mopar PCM, you have to go this route at the moment until some new technology or somebody cracks the code on this. This is the way that is the easiest to go. So I have the steering wheel. We've got paddle shifters, boys. So this is going to be super fun. Obviously going to have to get a new airbag since this vehicle was in a crash. I've got the gauge cluster. I've got the 8.4 Uconnect touchscreen. I've got our climate controls. You can see down here, here's our push button to start the whole steering column, with the clock spring and all the wiring, our tilt steering if we want. Also have our shifter for our 8-speed with all the wiring and the mechanism, and our center console, and all this stuff, you guys, is wired up and works flawlessly. So if you guys haven't seen the other video, this engine is a running engine on the ground here. And moving on, we got all the different modules, even funny stuff and small stuff like the speakers. The Harman Kardon sound system from this vehicle is here too. And we got it all, guys. And I also have the shark fin. I don't know which one's the GPS, but we got a ton of antennas that come from one of these chargers. Subwoofer, and we have the keyless entry system all working, you guys. And you guys already know we have the red key. So we've got the red key for it that unlocks the 707 horsepower from the factory. Got fuse boxes, and not that we're gonna use it for the actual swap, but these are all the modules and connections that go underneath both seats. So you got passenger seat, driver's seat. We've got the amplifier for the stereo. This is the body control module. I know a lot of this gets complicated, guys, but it looked a little bit overwhelming at first, but once you got into it, it's not as crazy as we originally thought. This little module here, the RF hub, that's the one that controls all the wireless key function and stuff like that. So that one, obviously you can see we have the gas tank with the Hellcat pumps in it, fuel pumps, since they are a bigger fuel pump for feeding 707 horsepower. We got the battery, we got the rear fuse box, we got the carpets. We pretty much have it all, you guys. This one I don't think we're gonna need, but this has to do with all the dampeners, the electronic dampeners on the suspension, but we're not going to be working with that, or it's not going to be working on our Dakota swap. So I know you guys want to know how much I paid for all this stuff, but I'm not done just yet. We still have more parts to show you on what was included with everything. So I got every single panel on the car. I got the trunk, I got all 4 doors, and I did that so I could have all the electronics from all those components. So even though some of them weren't good, I'm probably gonna turn this into a wall ornament since it's got a little chip here, but we've got the whole tail light, and let me show you the other parts. So these are the remaining doors. We got 3 of the doors, all the electronics, all the interior switches and stuff, because we're gonna have to do something like that on our swap. And I also got the original dash, even though it's messed up. I got the hood because we're probably gonna graft this onto our truck, and we're gonna actually get a replacement dash. So even though this one's all messed up in the inner portion of it, we have all the heater core and the AC, all that stuff underneath the dash, and the wrecking yard is actually gonna give us a nicer one that's not completely messed up also. So like I said, guys, I pretty much bought an entire car without the frame of the car. Yes, I didn't get the rear axle and stuff like that, but I don't need that since we're gonna have a solid axle in the back of the Dakota, and I didn't need the differential. I'm gonna need a custom drive shaft anyways. And I did also get all 4 of the Brembo brakes as well from the Hellcat. So you guys wanna know the number? I'm gonna tell you, I gotta say this one thing first. When you guys are searching for stuff like this, I saw people guessing prices high and low, and I just wanted to say one thing is, you guys gotta remember, unfortunately, a lot of these that are out there, you have to be careful if you're gonna be looking for them, because unfortunately, a lot of them might be a little bit shady. I know that because when I was shopping, I saw prices that looked too good to be true. And on further research, there was something that's, may have been a little bit fishy. So I bought this with a receipt, from a salvage yard that purchased it from an auto insurance auction. So everything's legit. You guys can see that the reason why this one was pulled out of the vehicle is because it was in a crash. And keep that in mind when you guys are shopping. You might be able to find something cheaper, but just be careful and make sure you have all the modules, because if you're missing any of these modules with the key, the thing won't start. So that's why I wanted to make sure I had everything. So with that being said, the number is, I paid $17,000 for this setup. You guys might think that's way too much, but if you guys look at companies like Cleveland Power, they sell this with less components than everything I just showed you. They don't sell you all the stuff from the doors and different stuff like that. They don't give you the brakes, all that different stuff. I even have a backup camera, you guys. So I have the backup camera out of the trunk, and they don't give you absolutely everything. They give you enough to get it running, but that's kind of where it stops. So, and they sell theirs anywhere from I think $22,000 to $25,000 for a running setup on a pallet. So just keep that in mind, you guys, with the price. So I think it's a pretty decent price. It's a fair price for getting a 2019 engine with 12,000 miles on it. The thing is pretty much brand new. It's legit. Everything works. We have a warranty even with this. So I do have like a 120-day warranty on this swap in case, you know, it doesn't work when we go to put it in the truck. So just keep that in mind, you guys. That's the number, $17,000 what we paid. It's gonna cost more than that to get it in the truck because we need mounts, exhaust, and we also need a different oil pan to fit this in. And we're probably gonna need some different stuff for coolers and stuff like that. But that's the number. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and the other channel because we're gonna be posting a lot on this build. Thanks for your support. Make sure you give a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys on the next video.